Is it 2024?
I thought it was 2025, Chris. I thought it was 2025.
I feel like, my YouTube TV showed me the wrong game. It's the wrong year, right? This is reality, I guess.
Let's get this sucker started.
Get dialed in, Panthers fans. Here comes an in-depth look at your team. Exclusive interviews. Locker room insight. Let's huddle up for Panthers Playbook. Here are your hosts, Dennis Cox and Chris Lea.
Welcome back to the episode of Panthers Playbook. That's Chris Lea, Dennis Cox with you. Just write in the comments, folks. Has your outlook on the season changed after that 26-10 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars here in week 1, Chris? And it did not look good at all. Like, not even close to good.
No.
It was, let's call it what it was. It was bad. It was just flat out bad.
I was okay with a loss because you're starting the game off on the road, the season off on the road and all that type of stuff. Jacksonville is a team, I would say, around the same area that the Panthers were from last year. So maybe they have that little bit of advantage. I wasn't okay with a blowout. I wasn't okay with 3 turnovers. I wasn't okay with the operation still not seeming to work.
Yeah,
for the Panthers. Like, I don't get it.
Year 3 of Bryce Young, we're still like, snap me the ball, like consistently. Like year 3 of Bryce, we're still like, all right, snap me the ball, because they're just getting in the line of scrimmage with 8 seconds left on the play clock. Chris, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Where do we want to start first? Because like I got some stuff to go around.
I mean, trust me, there's plenty to go around in this one. Let's look at Bryce. I mean, overall, just not a good day. I have 18-35 overall, 154. The interception at the very end, inconsequential. The touchdown to Chuba Hubbard, great individual play by Chuba. I mean, that guy brought it today, but it felt like empty calories overall, and just what was just a bad game from Bryce Young. The lack of confidence that we saw last season wasn't there. Indecisiveness. We just saw him get frustrated out there on the field, and just the ability to push through that initial, especially the initial interception that he threw on that second drive, just not able to push through it. I expect better, and Panthers fans should expect better from Bryce Young on a day like today. 100% should.
We shouldn't have to start every season off like this.
No.
Right? Like, you were a number 1 overall pick. At some point, the excuses run out, right? Like, I've tried to really have his back on multiple occasions because he was dealt a very bad hand in his first season.
He was.
Right? Very bad hand. We don't need to go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you starting off the season this way? Now, I will say this. There's a couple back and forths that we had with some folks on Twitter because Adam Thielen's name was brought up. I don't listen. I'm not going to bring him up because I feel like it was a factor. I will say, though, I noticed he didn't trust his receivers. And that was the one thing I was worried about with that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's leave from that because we don't need to go into that anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the system. The offensive line didn't really let him get touched that much. I guess he didn't pick up that corner blitz in the first half. I guess he didn't see that
no
coming
one saw
whatever.
that. That was well disguised. I'll give Jacksonville credit on that one.
Well disguised on it.
5 quarterback hits total by Jacksonville.
There's a few things that kind of happened that was just kind of just weird and awkward, and it just really feels like Bryce either doesn't trust himself, his line, Coach Canales in the system, or in the play call, or whatever it is,
or trust himself.
It's I started off with himself.
Oh yeah,
but like it's one of the weird things about this. Like, it's year 3, bro. Like, at some point, where does it start to turn around? Where does it start to really click for you on this? Now, I don't feel like he looked so bad to where, I've seen some people already saying bench him, but I'm going to ask, bench him for who?
Yeah.
You really want to, at this point, say that we're going to put it in the hands of Andy Dalton? We know it can work really well for one game. After that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, this has to work under Bryce Young this year. And I don't understand what is going on with him. It's not just on him, though, but we're sticking with him for right now.
Yeah, because
I got more for others.
Oh no, trust me, there's a lot more. Austin Corbett did not have a good day. Like I don't know how those two didn't get on the same page, but we kind of tied it into go back to preseason game number 2, where the offense had 2 3-and-outs, and then Dave Canales said, "You guys are done." And you and I talked about like, well, if the way the offense struggled, they need to learn in a live actual game, or at least somewhat close to a game. Go figure it out. Figure it out, as opposed to wait until the regular season. So they never actually had a chance to figure it out. And guess what? Week 1, they still didn't figure it out. Still didn't figure it out. And by the way, Tenero McMillan, by the way, has all the makings of a number 1, it looks like.
Yeah.
He really does. I'm like, dude, okay, there's something there. But I don't know what it was with Canales and the play call. We should expect better today.
We talked about this. I brought this up that this will be the first time. This was the first game that Dave Canales goes into the game as the most experienced head coach. Liam Coen cooked his boots today. This was his first game as a head coach. It felt like Liam Coen has been there for the last few years. Jacksonville looked like a well-oiled machine. They looked like they knew what they were doing. They looked like they were confident in each other and in this system. And right now, I don't know what to think about Dave Canales, just to be real, because second year in a row, you didn't use your team the way you probably should have in the preseason. I felt like he maybe was dedicated to the run a little bit better today, but also I felt like what was the red zone where Bryce red zone trip where Bryce threw it away.
Oh yeah, the 4th and 1.
He did 3 straight runs there. Okay, you believe in a run, but you can pass in one of those situations. My criticism wasn't just to run it every down. You have to use the pass, and in that situation, you're not giving anything to the Jaguars for them to be afraid of. And that's the part for me that I think I've said for a while now. I don't know what the Carolina Panthers do well. I don't know what their identity really truly is. You can say that we are a running team, but you don't even do that well. You know what I'm saying? You did it decently. We got what's the rushing yards? 113 yards, but Jacksonville had 200.
Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind as well, 22 of those yards were that one scramble by Bryce Young, which really was a pass play. It wasn't even a designed run. Bryce Young accounted for 40 rushing yards today. Those were all scrambles.
They don't do it well. Again,
They don't.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they don't do it well. And that's the part that I'm kind of I'm wondering what's up, because this offense, this is pretty much the same offense with a few new pieces, minus Adam Thielen, of course, that ended the season. The defense, we'll talk about them, I guess, in a little bit. It's just, even though it's a lot of new faces on the starting defense, it's the same thing. I'm coming back to coaching. I saw our buddy Josh Graham from the Triad say, I'm not going to indict the coaches on week 1 on Twitter. Okay, that's cool for him to say, right?
Yeah,
if this game looks the exact way it looked last year on week 1, and you switched out as many players as you did, who is that on? Because the Carolina Panthers haven't been ready to play in week 1 for 2 straight years under Dave Canales. And another thing is, when you have such a young team and you don't play your starters in the preseason, it comes out looking like this.
It does. It 100% does. Real quick, I want to go back to Bryce here. There are several plays that stood out to me in a negative way. The first one that really stuck out to me was 3rd down. Is the drive they got the field goal. 3rd down, Hunter Renfrow runs a combination route with Xavier Legette on the left side, basically runs a little wheel route. Basically, it's a pick play by Xavier Legette.
Yes.
Well run. And Hunter Renfrow has a step on his guy. Bryce underthrows him. He felt a little pressure in his face, wasn't hit, but kind of leans back, throws off his back foot, underthrows the ball. Hunter Renfrow doesn't have a chance to take a play or make a play. So as opposed to 1st down inside the red zone, extending the drive, maybe looking at getting a touchdown, you now have to settle for 3. So you take that play into consideration. Then you also look at the interception that he threw. Rolls out to his right, looking for Xavier Legette. Doesn't see Eric Murray. The safety just come flying up the field towards him. And Eric Murray beats Xavier Legette to the ball. That's how fast Eric Murray jumped up in the play. Sure enough, ball gets intercepted. Leads to a touchdown eventually by Jacksonville. And then later in the second half, where he's scrambling upfield and stumbling forward, doesn't protect the ball gets knocked out. Sure enough, guess what? Jacksonville jumps to the ball. You're in field goal range. You not only take those points off the board, but Jacksonville now goes down and kicks a field goal of their own. So that's 10 points scored by Jacksonville off hit 2 of his turnovers, and you at minimum took a field goal off the board for yourself. That's 13 points. That's 13 points right there.
What were we saying last year? We said that you almost have to play perfect on offense because the defense isn't good enough to get you out of this situation. And honestly, it's still the same this year. Like, great pick from J.C. Horn, great individual play from him.
Great play.
But as a whole, this defense is not good enough. So this game was actually lost on that first interception. Because like this defense is not good enough to get you out of that hole. If that would have been an interception on your end of the field, or the Jaguars end of the field, then okay, I guess maybe you can get out of that. But that was right there, like you put them right there in scoring territory. And Carolina got nothing off of that interception. 4 plays and out. You were in plus territory. It was 20-3 game. You're in plus territory. The Jacksonville 40. Well, I'm talking about the one that Carolina threw. Like you put Jacksonville in scoring range. So it's you still have to play a perfect game. And Bryce, Canales, and Corbett, they're not helping out with it at all. And let's really quick on Corbett. He was either snapping it too high, snapping it too late, snapping it too early, because there was one time where Bryce is trying to either call an audible or something, and he just snaps it and it wasn't quite ready for it. Like, here's the thing. I'll give Bryce a pass on this. There's a few times that he had to worry about corralling the ball from wherever it was going to be at before he gets to start the play really started. So like that was a disadvantage for him, and that's because of Corbett. I don't know, like we were texting a little bit about Xavier Legette, but like for me, it's more so like we can get to that later. Like the actual engine's not working. Like before we talk about the leather seats, the engine's just not working. And we need to get that engine working. And that's what I thought that Dave Canales and Bryce Young, and a second year with both of these two together, and Bryce Young's third year, I thought we had that. And we clearly don't. Now things should get better for the rest of the season. I hope this is the worst game they play for the rest of the year. But boy, first impressions mean so much. And this isn't a great first impression for 2025.
The thing about this Panthers team that really stuck out to me, not everything we just talked about, but they don't do anything to make things easier for themselves.
No,
they just don't. Whether it's the Xavier Legette failing to get his second foot in bounds on that deep route, which I'll have a thought here on Xavier Legette here in a moment, or Jadeveon Sanders, tough catch that you have to make, but guess what? Bryce put in a spot where you can make a play. Make a play. Help yourselves out. Defensively, wrapping up and making a tackle properly. Or Pat Jones, set the edge and don't lose containment on an end around that leads to a touchdown. All these different kinds of things that you make easier for yourself as a team, the Panthers simply don't do it. Everything is a struggle for them. Everything's a struggle for them. And that's the frustrating thing to see, is that you have to make your own break. The margin of error in sports is so damn small. Like, it really is that small that you have to make the breaks for yourself. You have to create your own luck in some ways. You really do. And the Panthers just don't seem to do that. They never do. That's the thing that stuck out to me. It's like, man, they just don't make life easy for themselves. No. They really don't. They really don't. And like, okay, for example, sometimes a player just has to simply make a play. I mentioned Jadeveon Sanders, or I mentioned Xavier Legette. Like, just sometimes you, again, help yourself. Like Legette, get 2 feet in bounds. Get 2 feet in bounds. That's a first down right there.
You had enough room to do that.
More than enough room.
Like, that was a Jonathan Mingo play. That was a Jonathan Mingo play.
Okay, I'm gonna say this about Legette. All right, we need to have a real talk about Legette, because we have not seen him, at least I haven't, consistently separate from defensive backs on routes. We haven't seen any real big plays from him where we see the yards after the catch using his size and his 4.39 speed. We also remember the drops from last year. Even on a 2nd and 1 play early in the third quarter, he misses a block on a defensive back. Guy comes up, makes a tackle on Chuba Hubbard at the line of scrimmage. Well, as opposed to 1st and 10, now it's 3rd and 1. The lack of awareness to get his foot in bounds on that deep route. When are we going to see the breakout moment from him? He has all the physical tools to be a receiver in this league. Eventually, it has to come together, but we have not even seen the flashes from it. One game from McMillan, we saw some flashes of it. We really did. I was hoping he'd come down with that deep post route on that 4th down play in the end zone. Great play by the defensive back, but man, it's like eventually you got to see something from him.
I agree with your assessment. The only thing I'll push back on is I think we did see flashes last year. We didn't see
few
a flash.
and far between though.
Few and far between, but also, he was a rookie. Apparently had injuries he's dealing with and stuff like that. I am not giving him a pass by all means, but I also don't want to push him out the door too early, because
I'm not pushing him out the door, but
I got you. But this is also for the fans, because you know how people can listen and you can take something that you say and go way left field with it. I'm not pushing him out the window. I think there were flashes last year. I think there are things to build on. I do think that the idea of him being a solid 1B or even 2 is probably out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else who I'm starting to side eye a little bit too, Jadeveon Sanders
had moments today to make a play as well. Didn't see it.
And then one of the biggest I guess memories I have from the preseason is that ball that hits his hands and just kind of pops out.
Yeah.
And so like he's having some issues corralling the ball as well. Overall, the offense didn't look the way that I expected as it's being led by an offensive-minded head coach, right? You expected a little bit more from them, especially in year 2 for Dave Canales. This team, I was hoping that this team could be a consistent, maybe 24, 25 point per game type of team, maybe sometimes sneak up and get 30. Right now, it doesn't look like that, because like the 10 that they got were hard.
Yeah.
I mean, hard. It was a struggle, as you said earlier. It was a struggle to even get those 10. And with the touchdown, as you said earlier, it was just a great, pretty much individual play from Chuba Hubbard. Probably should have been tackled after 2 yards.
Yeah.
But he made a great individual play. Can we talk about defense a little bit?
We can. I just want to wrap a bow up on that real fast, because you mentioned Bryce Young about maybe lack of trust for his receivers. That's where I bring in Xavier Legette into that conversation. It's like, well, if Legette's not going to get 2 feet in bounds, why do I look your way? Same thing with JT Sanders. I put in a spot where you can make a play and you don't. Why should I trust you on the next one? You know who was missed today? Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker was missed today. Tremendously.
Boy.
For real.
Boy.
Was for real missed today.
He's looking like the defense WR2 right now.
For real.
WR2.
For real. Speaking of the defense, no sacks. J.C. Horn had the interception, but only 1 quarterback hit, only 1 tackle for loss. I think the weather delay kind of slowed some of that early momentum down by Jacksonville. Yeah. There was no momentum for the Panthers at that point to slow down. So for them, it was just kind of kept status quo. But Turk Wharton got hurt, left with a hamstring injury. Bobby Brown, we saw late in the game, limp off the field as well. It's like, man, just the defense looked like the defense.
Well,
that makes sense.
As per usual, they gave up 200 yards rushing.
Yep.
Some of that's to Trevor Lawrence, who had a couple runs, but also you had that long, 71-yard run from
ETN.
We saw a lot of 4-man fronts today. I would like to hear, like, what is this defense? Like, what is the real identity? What are they trying to be good at? What are they trying to really stop? Because like I don't think they're really stopping anything. Like there's a couple instances too where it's like
no, they don't stop anything.
I don't think I think Mike Jackson had a really good game also,
Yeah.
but then you also have to play what's called for you. And there was this one play, I can't remember what quarter it was. It may have been right after the rain delay in the second quarter, where I think Jacksonville had a 3rd and long, and he's playing like kind of off coverage a little bit.
Brown on that deep in route.
And like it's like he can't get close to him, but like he's just playing what's called for him, right? And he showed you early in the game, I think it was the first possession, like he almost had to pick himself.
Yeah.
playing man. Like, I mean, he looked really good today. I think he tackled decently as well. And it just felt like there's a few times where I'm looking at it where if you're having these guys be, 10 yards off, and the Jacksonville Jaguars only need to get 2 yards, and it's calling for your corners to still back up and not meet them at that 10 yards. Well, clearly they're going to get the 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, what is the real strategy here? What are you really trying to take away? I thought the defensive line looked a little bit better. But
Turk Wharton getting hurt, like I think
that wasn't
the
good.
rush defense and stuff, because he had a couple of stops right there at the line of scrimmage early.
That wasn't good at all. But you had the opportunity to let go of the defensive coordinator of the worst defense, one of the worst defenses in NFL history, and for some reason you decided to keep him. That right there really blows my mind.
Well, and you got all the new personnel in.
And you got all this new personnel and all that. I really I don't understand. It can't, at this point, like, if you are a teacher and you are getting your kids ready for the end of grade testing in the state of North Carolina, right? And your team, your classroom keeps getting C's on the end of grade testing, and you get in a new crop of students next year, and the same thing happens. Is it the students? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the students? If the students keep having the same results from the same teacher, we still have a whole season to look at. But boy, nothing has seemed to change even with all those new players. Mm-hmm. And shout out to JC Horn for making a great individual play to get that one-handed pick.
He did. And I think the best way to, again, talk about coaching, best way to sum it up, this loss is on coaching. Like, again, Bryce and all those guys did not play well, but they looked unprepared. They looked outcoached. Like you said, very first year head coach, first ever coach in Liam Coen. You said it, Chris. Coached the pants off of Dave Canales today.
Would have been great if the Carolina Panthers had gone over a few of these situations in the preseason. Would have known what's going on. If they would have worked out their operation in the preseason, like getting the play in and things like that. See, that's the other part that I have an issue with, because you also use the preseason, of course, to like get other people training and stuff like that. Brad Idzik called plays, but I think there also needed to be a few games, or at least a couple possessions. I won't say a few games, at least a couple of possessions where Dave Canales is getting the play into Bryce Young.
He called plays in the third preseason game when Bryce and the starters weren't playing.
When he wasn't playing. So it's like you guys haven't done this before together this season.
Yeah.
And like you're rusty. At some point, you got to make sure your guys are ready to play football.
Mm-hmm.
And
they
the Carolina Panthers just don't look ready. And I don't care what any of my compadres say on Twitter, right? That comes down to coaching to me.
Oh, yeah.
This is not just about the players. This is new year, same result. Same people in charge.
Yep. The coaches, Dave Canales, you got to wear this one today. And even Dave Canales, to start his post-game presser, said that was a picture of where we're at. Well, guess what? They're there because of you guys. They're there because the guys wearing headsets. That's where you all were. That was a sorry performance. Sorry-ass performance. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments.
I can't believe we had to sit through a rain delay to extend this butt whooping. Like, I just would have rather, like,
dude.
God had some jokes today, man.
He did. He really did. He really did. Leave thoughts in the comments. We'll have another episode for y'all on Thursday.
We're back, Panthers fans.
Let's go, baby.
We're back. We are complaining for 18 straight weeks. Let's go. We are so back.
We'll have another episode on Wednesday. Thursday.
Do we have to?